Okay, friends, the countdown is on. Christmas Day is 1 week from today. As if we didn't already have a million other things to do, I'm sure if you're like me, you are just trying to keep your house picked up. And so during my kids' quiet time today, I just focused on the 10-minute tidy, getting 10 minutes done in each room. Whatever gets done, got done. Whatever doesn't. And so I want to get one thing out of the way right out of the gate and say I didn't do my hair for you guys. I hope you're okay with that. I literally only had 1 hour and I had 5 rooms to do. So hair, it wasn't going to make the cut. So I hope you guys are okay with my authentic mom look. Throughout this video, I'm going to sprinkle in a few holiday hostessing tips. So if you guys have a favorite hostess tip, leave it in the comments below, and I'll be sharing your comments this weekend on my Instagram stories. So be sure you follow me over there if you don't already. So on this particular day, I started in my living room because it was the cleanest already, and I really needed some good motivation to get started. I was super avoiding my kitchen. So all I really needed to do this day was sort and put away some already folded laundry and get the floors done, as well as pick up a few little doodads around the room. All right, my first tip is to leave out the Wi-Fi code. And that might seem silly, but if you're having company for a holiday dinner or you have company that's staying, it might feel awkward for some people to ask for the Wi-Fi code. So leave it out somewhere super visible and super obvious, like in the living room or in the bathroom. We always keep this vacuum, a Roomba, and a microfiber mop out almost all the time. They very rarely get put away because multiple times throughout the day we use them. The kids use them for their afternoon chores or their morning chores, and I use them constantly, especially when I'm working out and I'm like putting my shoes on and I feel or see the dog hair on the floor 2 hours after I last swept or mopped. So we keep these out often, but this is the perfect way to finish up a 10-minute tidy. My next holiday hostessing tip is to leave out disposable napkins or paper towels in the bathrooms. And the reason for that, and maybe it's just personal preference, but one thing that really irks me is when I go to use a towel or a hand towel and it's already soaking wet. All I can think of is the last person who touched that, and it just kind of freaks me out a little bit. Like, I know that's a little bit insensitive to say, but it's true. So I'm sure my guests feel that way sometimes as well. So I actually have a paper towel rack, a decorative paper towel rack that I will put in our guest bathroom when we're having company. I put it away for the rest of the year. But another thing you can do is find cute seasonal napkins. There are some in the Target dollar spot. I know I've seen some at Michael's, and you can put those in a little napkin holder in the bathroom as well, and that adds a festive touch. Moving right along into my kitchen, which desperately needed to get done, I actually set the timer for 15 minutes. And the reason for that was because I knew my dining room was going to take 5 minutes or less, which you will see soon. And right out of the gate, I just want to say it's ridiculous how messy my kitchen gets on the regular. And I'm very much aware that it is not finished, even though we technically completed the renovations 2 years ago. But can we just hope that something gets done in 2020? I don't know. Sometimes it's like, do I want to go somewhere or do I want to finish my kitchen? I'm always going to choose to go somewhere, so it is what it is. A lot of times people don't want to show up empty-handed, and it's nice to be able to say something along the lines of, yeah, just bring whatever you want or bring your favorite dish. But sometimes people need something specific. So you can tell them, oh, bring an appetizer, because really, can you ever have too many appetizers? Or bring your favorite bottle of wine or some bread, things that you may already have prepared for a party, but you can stick away and use for another day, something shelf stable. but it's always a good idea to have a little list of things that people can help with, and you can either pick up at the last minute if nobody has offered to bring something, or you can stick on the shelf or in the freezer for another day. People really like to show up with something to contribute, and especially if they ask to help, definitely provide them with something they can do to help with the party. I think one thing I dislike more than doing the dishes is having to put away the dry dishes. And so a lot of times I will let 2 days worth of drying dishes stack out, and that's exactly what happened on this particular day. However, I will say that one thing that makes me feel like a boss is when I get my sink cleared out, there's no dishes waiting, and I can actually scrub it out. So I just use some baking soda and a drop or two of lemon oil, and this happens almost daily just because we have a granite sink, which I know most sinks are porcelain, these farmhouse sinks, but mine is granite, like granite countertops, and so it does take on stains, although the stains come out very easily, so I scrub this down regularly. My next tip, especially if you're having overnight guests, is to have single-serve snacks ready and on hand. I think people might feel uncomfortable asking you for something to eat when it's not typically a mealtime, and I know personally when I stay at other people's homes, I get hungry in the middle of the night, and I don't realize how often I get hungry late at night or really early in the morning when I'm in my own house, but when you're somewhere else, it feels very uncomfortable to go make a noise in the kitchen. So put out a couple of baskets with a variety of snacks, things that people can grab and munch on late at night or early in the morning, and I'm sure you will have some very happy guests. All right, I mean, it's not perfect, but my timer went off and, I'm a rule follower, so gotta listen. This is the perfect time to mention that today's video is in partnership with Variety Fun. If you are not familiar with Variety Fun, they are a snack subscription service, and I have loved receiving these boxes for the last few months. They offer 2 different snack subscriptions, and they can be done monthly or bi-weekly. And they offer the Fun Box, which is full of fun, exciting, tasty treats, and the Fit Box, which is equally as exciting and has snacks that will help keep you on track if you are trying to stay in shape or you want some healthier options. This is also a really great gift idea. If you need a last minute gift, subscribing somebody to Variety Fun is a great idea. I'm going to leave a link in the description box below. If it is your first month subscribing, you get 30% off with my discount code. And one thing that I absolutely adore about Variety Fun is that they give back. They give back a ton. So I'm going to put all that info in the description box below. My dining room took literally less than 5 minutes. I think it probably took me 2.5 minutes max. All I had to do was take the kids' plates away, wipe down the tables, and then I just flipped the chairs upside down on the dining room table and ran my Roomba. I have to vacuum, sweep, and mop this room so often throughout the day that I didn't even bother, because as soon as the kids' quiet time was over, they were coming out here for a snack, and I just figured, I'm gonna mop again in an hour, so I just let it do its thing. I love putting the chairs up on a table. Something about that completed work makes me so happy, and a lot of times at night when I go to bed, I'll put the chairs upside down on the school table and the dining room table, and I will go to bed so happy. What is one household chore or task that makes you really happy when it's done? Let me know in the comments below. The schoolroom is a difficult one because I could spend 10 minutes reorganizing a single shelf in the schoolroom, or I could just make it done enough to walk through, and that's what I chose to do today. So the schoolroom table is my staging area. As I'm cleaning the other rooms in the house, this is traditionally where I put all of the kids' stuff that I find in other places. I don't mind picking my kids' stuff up off the floor, but I'm not going to put it away for them. So I do understand that they don't always see the stuff, and that's a habit that we're trying to get into. But Sometimes it's like, listen, I'm in the room, I'm gonna pick this up off the floor. It's gonna make me happy to see that it's not in the living room or in the dining room, but you guys need to put it away. So I have the kids come out and get all of their stuff, put all their stuff away, and then I just got right to it and just dealt with things that were very obviously out of place, and then I ran the mop and the vacuum through. That's a lie. I ran the broom through first. I don't get a chance to vacuum this room much because there are always big scraps of craft paper or big, gemstones if they had just done a project or whatnot. So I have to sweep this room more often than vacuum because I will hear it in my vacuum cleaner every time that I run the vacuum through. My next tip is to allow people to help. Sometimes people feel uncomfortable being the only one not helping, or maybe they're wanting to get out of a social situation in another room, or sometimes maybe they just need a little task to help break the ice and ease them into the party or into being in somebody's home. I know personally when I'm able to help when somebody is hosting us, I feel so much better about the messes my kids have made or being there and just standing around in the kitchen. So let people help if they offer. Give them something simple to do. Maybe they can help you wash or dry dishes. Maybe they can just wipe down a countertop. But I think if somebody asks to help, give them a task. They really mean it. My last tip, and this is especially if there are children coming to whatever event you're hostessing, that is to have a real talk with your kids about what to expect. Now, my kids and I go through their things, and my kids have very specific things they're working on, say their Lego projects, or maybe my daughter's setting up a Calico Critters village, and we're about to have a party with like 15 or 20 kids. Those things are probably going to get a little disheveled, not out of being rude, but just because there are toys and kids want to play. So we will go through those things and we will put up what my kids probably would not want people to mess up. But we also want to talk and have realistic expectations about what it would be like to go to somebody else's house and not be able to touch anything at all. So allowing your kids to choose what few items to leave out for others to play with and what items need to be put away is a really great way to help them invite guests in to play and help break the ice. So schoolroom complete as long as you don't turn around and see that this shelf is completely undone. But we still have to do school in here, and in order to get this shelf looking nice, it really needs to be a weekend, or we need to be about to have company over, because I have to put away things that they're actively working on or books that we're actively reading in order for this to look somewhat nice. So just don't turn around if you're at my house and you're in my schoolroom, okay? I thought I might have a few extra minutes since I finished all my 10-minute tidies, and so I decided to tackle this front hallway, but oh my gosh, you guys, there's no way I could get this done even if I did have 10 minutes. This is always a disaster, but especially during busy, hectic seasons of life, it is a total wreck. Like, I'm talking day to day. I could get this completely spotless and the very next day it would be full of junk. This is where we set things that we need to remember when we walk out the door. It's where everybody dumps their stuff when they walk in, and I let it go because I'm just super happy that they didn't leave it in my car. It's a wreck. We've got a bag for dance, a bag for sports, a bag for Bible study. We've got a bag for somebody else, and all sorts of knick-knacky bags and hats and all sorts of stuff in this front hallway. So I decided to take a couple of minutes to tackle this, and I ended up hearing my kids before the time was up, and I needed to get a move on our next holiday festive activity. So that is that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you like cleaning motivation. I'm not really a pro at the video skills when it comes to stuff like this, but I can try to do this more often if you guys are interested. So I will see you guys tomorrow for another day of Vlogmas.